am Julian Davis, and I'm the board president of Our Daily Rest. I first learned about Our Daily Rest in 2005 from Dan Robleski, who's still on the board today. And growing up in Oconee County, I knew a lot of people that were less fortunate than I was. And my family helped a lot of families throughout the years. My grandfather had helped families. And so it was kind of ingrained in me to give back to the community that had given so much to our family. I actually joined the board in 2006. I was 26 years old at the time, and I'm 42 years old now. So it's just been one of those things that, the Lord kind of placed on my life. The first time that I really saw the need is I had a gentleman walk in my office that was asked for some food and was pushing a lady in a wheelchair, and they had been living in the woods. It kind of touched me to how does somebody survive by living in the woods. Our Daily Rest showed compassion to these people, and this was before we were built. We didn't build the shelter until 2009. So this was 3 years prior that I began my journey with Our Daily Rest. It's simple for people to drive around Oconee County and see somebody with a sign and see somebody that's down on their luck asking for a job and to see that as the dirty side of homelessness. What we have found over the years is a lot of these people have given up on hope, and they've given up on themselves. So when we open up the door to them, whether it be they coming to us or us meeting them through one of our missions or things that we're doing out there, or maybe a church is doing, or maybe a community member's doing, they come into our program and really see that Our Daily Rest offers them more than just a shelter. It offers them a friendship. It offers them the hope, and actually gives them their life back. Homelessness is one of those things that it's an ongoing epidemic. Every day you see people on the street, sometimes different people, and we're not Hollywood, California, or in Atlanta, Georgia. So homelessness here in Oconee County is just a little bit different because people are able to blend in a little bit more, but it also makes it easier to fix with the programs that we have at Our Daily Rest and our staff members that not only do it because it's a career to them, but they do it because they love the individuals and they love to see somebody change their lives. And from being on the board for the amount of time that I have, I've truly seen the change of lives that Our Daily Rest has done.
It gives people hope. When you wake up in the morning and you don't know where you're going to lay your head that night, that's very challenging going forward. A place like Our Daily Rest, it gives you somewhere you have the faith that okay, so this is where I'm laying my head. This is a temporary thing, but I've got somewhere tonight to lay my head.
So my name is Don D. Johnson, and I'm a graduate of Our Daily Rest. The situation that happened was I was in a living situation that I need to get out of, and I'd recently had wrecked my truck, and so I was out of work. So the relationships were mainly with, I would say, the staff there, with my counselor, Shannon. She was a big influence to me. It was a really good experience with them, and then I learned quite a few things from them. The most important thing that I learned from her is how to view life. And she taught me that life isn't without trouble. You have your ups and downs, that you can get through the things, the bad, and of course there'll be the good on the other side. So yeah, I got started there, and we got to job searching. They've took me under their wing and really shown me a lot and taught me a lot. And so time went on, and I wasn't a Christian at this point. I got to a point where I was ready to have the confession of faith. And so we went through that with, Don called me up, and we went through that in Our Daily Rest, just in my bunk bed over the phone. And then, so I accepted Christ there. The whole reason was for it is because they took me under their wing, and they didn't know who I was. And that really touched my heart and showed me how much of God's love pours out from others. I couldn't thank them enough. Like it's beyond what they've done for me. Well, I do firmly believe that God has a plan for all of us, and the situations that kind of happen fall into place. Wherever you are in life right now, it is temporary. If I didn't know about it, I definitely would not be in the place where I was. I probably wouldn't even be a Christian right now. Sometimes it is hard to ask for help, but there are people out there that are willing to help.
Staff here really cares about their residents, and we kind of give them that hope to home, motivation. We prove that we care as individuals and as a community, which really helps them, I feel secure in their transition.
We have an actual program for people to go through. It's called 123 Home, and it's based on goals, employment, and money management. So here they learn how to set goals, the steps needed to meet those goals, how to be employed, to keep a job, to advance in your job.
A program like Our Daily Rest, it's more than just a shelter. I think shelters are a Band-Aid, but having the case management and offering direction and putting goals and limits in place, I mean, it really helps structure a person's life to the point where they can really feasibly get on their feet in a good way.
I was a strung out crack addict, but I didn't want to come, and I cried all the way here, but I knew I had to trust God and trust what God had in store for me. And when I got here, I had the free roof over my head, a place to lay down. I even had 3 jobs within the first week because the shelter is so connected to the community. I guess the biggest aspect and shock and reliever was knowing that I didn't have to pay rent. And that was one burden that was relieved, so that I could focus on saving money to get my own car and my own place. On my 90th day there, or 90 days clean, I got my first car. And then about 90 days after that, I got me my own 2-bedroom apartment, because the shelter taught me things like saving money, keeping it moving, not allowing everyday struggles to get me down and keep me stuck, to trying to find a solution to my problem, and it did. When I got to Our Daily Rest, I didn't have nothing but the clothes on my back. And when I left there, I left with tons of clothes. They provided me with everything in my house. When I first got my apartment, I didn't want for nothing. I mean, all the way down to the microwave and the coffee pot, they provided for me. And that took another large burden off of my shoulders. So please, if you are a supporter and a donator, please donate, because they really need it. And if you need help, please call Our Daily Rest, because they're there to help.
We are always in need of supplies, especially cleaning supplies, for these folks to be able to live and work, because they do chores. That's how they pay.
So as you've heard today from a couple of people of the lives that have been changed because of Our Daily Rest, we've had over 1,000 individuals that have came through our doors. I wanted to give you a picture of what true homelessness is in Oconee County as we stand here on a homeless camp. That children's toys, coats, this is real life. And it's the mission of Our Daily Rest to not have this happen. This is one of probably 30 homeless camps that exist in Oconee County. This is hopelessness, but because of your generosity, Our Daily Rest provides hopes that this is now an abandoned homeless camp that's going to be cleaned up in the upcoming weeks, because these individuals got help. Children's toys, children's coats. Imagine being in this situation, and how do you get out of the situation? How do you get to and from work? How do you have a place to take a shower? How do you have a place to have a bathroom? Think about that for a second, that if this was what you were coming home to tonight. Think about the hopelessness. But because of Our Daily Rest, because of the love that our staff shows, this is now an abandoned homeless camp because of your generosity. Thank you. When our clients walk out of a terrible situation and walk through the doors of Our Daily Rest, they find compassion, hope, and a home. Because of your donations and because of your love, so many of them have transitioned to be self-sustaining. You've helped the lives of those like baby Isaiah, whose mother came to us pregnant, running away from a domestic violence situation. He now owns a home in Anderson, and her son is 10 years old today. You've changed the lives of over 100 kids that called Our Daily Rest home, and their mothers that had nowhere else to turn but Our Daily Rest. You've helped so many men find their way back to jobs, security, and to become fathers. You've helped share the love to those when they felt like no one around them cared. From all our current and past clients, and from our staff and our board, I want to tell you thank you. Without your support, Our Daily Rest cannot continue its mission of hope to home.